Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're continuing our look at the Funko ReAction Jaws toys with the Jaws Great White Shark. As you can see here from the box, very lovely presentation here. Absolutely love how it takes the promotional film art and utilizes it in a way to showcase the Great White Shark itself. Very awesome box. The back of the box gives us a look at the other items available in this lineup, as well as a very cool image on the left side with Roy Scheider battling the shark. And then, of course, it says the famous line, "You yell shark, and we got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get our Great White out of the box. When we come back, we will take a closer look and see just how cool this thing is when it is freed from its plastic prison. All right, you guys, and here is the shark out of the box. As you can see, it is quite cool looking. It's a very bulky looking shark. Definitely has had a few humans to eat. The overall aesthetic of the shark is pretty good. Certainly looks like the shark, Bruce the shark from Jaws. I really like that Funko took the time to make something like this for the ReAction toy line, because they could have just done the 3 human figures, and I would have been happy. I'm sure a lot of people would have been happy. But the fact that they went ahead and made the shark as well just makes these toys all the more cooler. Even though it isn't that realistic, you got to think back to the very first Jaws film, in which the shark, wasn't all that realistic to begin with, except for the underwater scenes where they had a real great white shark attacking the anti-shark cage that Hooper went into. So this is pretty cool. It's certainly better than not having any shark at all, because it is a pretty good effort on Funko's part. Here's a close-up of the shark's head. As you can see, it looks quite nice and is very reminiscent of the shark from the film. It had this, very bulky look to it, and they did a good job replicating it here. Eyes are very nicely done. I like the highlighting. They give it some white shading to kind of bring out the detail, which is really nice. Now in the film and in real life, great whites have more of a more jagged separation between the gray and the white. So it's not all that realistic in that sense. They did a really nice job blending it, but in the film, the shark did have the more realistic look of where it has more of a jagged border between the gray and the white. But this is still pretty nice. It's got some really long gills there on its side. You can see some scars here. Probably from previous battles. It's got nostrils. Quite cool. And yeah, the mouth does open. It does kind of look like it's wearing lipstick, the way that they did that. But yeah, you can open it up. And if you look in there, it does have 2 rows of teeth on both the top and on the bottom. Now, they're not that sharp. I mean, this is a toy after all, but still pretty good attention to detail, because they could have just done 1 row of teeth and gotten by, but the fact that they did 2 rows of teeth makes it all the more nice. This is the only point of articulation that it has, and it does feel a little bit loose. Overall, it's not too bad. I mean, it does close and it does open, and it is hollow. Top of the figure has some very nice definition to it. It's very blimp-like, very torpedo-like, very, very big fish. See the belly right there. It's got the nice fins here, dorsal. Tail looks pretty cool. So it isn't quite accurate to the size of the film, Bruce the Shark, because in the movie it would have been bigger. If I bring in some of the figures so that you can get an idea of scale, it's a big shark. It's definitely big. It's probably quite accurate in terms of what you would see with a real great white shark, other than the anatomy here being a little exaggerated. But in the film, it was a 25-foot shark. But, this isn't too bad, and, it's still a nice shark, and it's going to allow quite a bit of playability. Bring in the other 2 guys so you can see all 3 of them with the shark. Very, very cool. Now, I do think that the fins that it has are kind of long. Like, the dorsal fin seems a little bit small to me, but then it has these really long fins there on the side. Not so sure that that's quite the way it should be, but nonetheless, this is a toy, and it's supposed to be simple, but fairly faithful to the film. And I think for the most part, Funko did a good job in that regard. Now it does bother me a little bit how that's really the only way you can pose the shark. I wish it would, kind of stay up like that, maybe. I kind of wish that the fins down here were movable. That way you could just like put them out to the side and it could, stabilize a little bit better, but it doesn't. It's just kind of, it's very front heavy, and the way that it's designed doesn't allow any other poses other than that. I suppose if you got like a clear display base or a clear rod, you could prop it up, put something underneath here, and that would probably work out pretty well, actually. But on its own, it's not going to do that. In the way of accessories, you do get one of them, and that is a scuba tank. And of course, this is the one that Martin Brody blew up in the shark's mouth, which successfully led to the shark's death. And this looks very nice. It has a very nice kind of like a shiny metallic color to it. It does have a little bit of heft, so it is a little bit weighty, which is nice. And just all in all, pretty nice accessory. And I'm really glad that they included this with the shark. And yes, you can put it in the shark's mouth to reenact that famous scene. And it goes all the way in there. Now, if you're wondering if the shark eats humans, well, yes, it absolutely does. Go ahead and put Mr. Matt Hooper of the Oceanographic Institute in there and boom, push him in. Bam. Lunch is served. Actually, it doesn't taste very good. Actually, I am curious how many humans you could fit in there. Let's stick 1, 2. You can get 1.5, it looks like. You can't get 2 whole humans in there, I don't think. Well, that's pretty close. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Funko ReAction Great White Shark. All in all, I am quite pleased with this. When you consider the fact that this is only a $15 toy, that's a really good deal. I mean, it's a pretty sizable item. When an action figure, like one of these, costs you $10, and then you can get the shark for $5 more, it's kind of a no-brainer. Now, it's not perfect. While it does look pretty cool, and it is quite large, and it has a cool accessory, the anatomy isn't perfectly realistic. It isn't 100% faithful to the film, nor is it faithful to an accurate representation of a great white shark. But the fact that Funko went out of their way to actually make the shark, that is super cool, and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. It's a really fun toy. If you're a fan of the Jaws films or the Funko ReAction Jaws toy line, then you're definitely going to want to have the main star of Jaws in your collection. Alright, you guys, so stay tuned because we still have our review of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Great White Shark with Quint Final Battle set coming up next. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.